Hashtag Ghazi_knowledge_religion_martyr. This was a resident of Lahore who spent 19 years as a carpenter. An incident in India before the partition of India caused a stir in the life of knowledge. In 1923, an extremist Hindu wrote a book in the glory of the Prophet Akram. The book was written under a pseudonym, published by a Hindu publisher in Lahore. The book contained very obscene things that no Muslim could tolerate. The publication of the book caused a wave of great outrage among Muslims all over the continent. The Muslims demanded the ban on the book and filed a lawsuit against its publisher. The Sessions Court convicted Rajpal, after which the Lahore High Court appealed against the sentence. At the hearing, Rajpal was released because there was no law against blasphemy against religion at the time. Muslims started a movement across the country against the decision of the High Court. The young scholar Deen was in the crowd in front of the historical minister Khan Mosque in Lahore with his friend Rashid, who was chanting slogans against the Hindu writer. There was a slogan of emotion that was peaceful in the echo of the crowd's slogans. The Imam Mosque said in a very painful voice, "Satan Rajpal of Muslims has insulted the glory of our Holy Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, in his book, and has acquitted him by the courts, which has encouraged the enemies of Islam." The words of the Imam of the mosque came to the heart of the Ghazi scholar, and he decided at the same time that he would kill the Prophet by burning him in hell. He expressed this desire to his close friend Rashid, who also wanted to taste the insolence of Raj. The two friends drew the draw on this issue 3 times, and the name of knowledge, religion, was mentioned 3 times. And finally, Rashid withdrew in favor of knowledge, religion. On September 6, 1929, he bought a knife from Najdeen Bazaar and went straight to Rajpal's shop. Rajpal had not yet come to the shop. Knowledge Deen waited for him, and as soon as Rajpal entered his shop, Knowledge Deen stabbed his chest with a knife that penetrated his heart. Police arrested him and charged him with murder. At the request of Allama, the Supreme Judge Muhammad Ali Jinnah fought the case of knowledge religion. At one point, the Supreme Judge asked the knowledge religion to not confess the crime. The Ghazi Nali religion said, "How can I say that I did not commit this murder? I am not sorry for this murder, but proud." The court sentenced the knowledge religion to death. The Supreme Court considered Muhammad Ali Jinnah a liberal and was a great supporter of the Hindu-Muslim alliance at the time. Hindu newspapers criticized him, but the Supreme Court rejected this criticism, saying, "The blessings of the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah, be upon him, are greater than anything." October 31st, 1929. Ghazi scholar martyr sentenced to death. On the day of the execution, when the wise man was asked his last wish, he said, "Let me pray only to forbidden prayers. Bear witness that I have sent Rajpal to hell for insulting him in the glory of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. And today I touch my life on the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, by crushing the word Taiba in front of you all." After the execution of the Ghazi scholar, the British government buried his deceased in the prison cemetery without a funeral prayer, which was strongly protested by Muslims and the Islamic. Iqbal launched a campaign and finally permitted, after assuring the British that there will be no riots during the burial in Lahore. 15 days later, When the deceased was taken out of the grave of the Ghazi knowledge martyr, his body was as fresh as the first day. The father of the knowledge martyr asked Allama Iqbal to teach the funeral prayer of the knowledge. And Allama Iqbal said to him that he was a very sinful man, so he could not teach the funeral prayer of such a great martyr. The funeral prayer of the Ghazi scholar Deen martyr was the largest funeral prayer in the history of Lahore, in which millions of people attended. Everyone wished to shoulder the funeral of the lover of the Prophet. The son of Tarkhan spread the scriptures we read today, and we kept watching. After the execution of the martyr, circumstances arose in which the British had to change the laws, and the insult to any religion was made a crime, and thus the sacrifice of a young man became a precursor to the change in the law. After independence of Pakistan, the blasphemy law was made part of the Pakistan Penal Code, and in 1982, then-President General Zia amended the law to make the punishment for blasphemy of the Quran life imprisonment and the minimum punishment for blasphemy of the Holy See